An emotional atmosphere. The stage is set. And many of these players will be making their debut for their countries at under 20 level. And South Africa under 20s, well, they got a lot of stars in their side. 3 or 4 players who went to the World Cup last year. They're captained by Franco Horn. On the other hand, for the Junior Lelos of Georgia, watch out for their captain and navigator, their pivot, Tedo Abshandadze, who's already played 7 games for the Georgian national team. It's his 3rd season at under 20 level. With me in the commentary box today is Andries Strauss. Andries, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Justin, and good to be here. This junior South African team filled with stars right through the range from 1 to 15 and on the bench, but they're up against an extremely competitive Georgia side this afternoon. They've struggled against them in the past. It's not been easy for the Junior Boks against this very physical Georgia side.
Jadaswani, the ref, says time on. And Georgia, a difficult one there immediately for their Kasheli. And the Junior Springboks have a penalty in a dangerous part of the field. And just to mention Georgia as well, they've got tons of experience. 9 players in the squad who played at the Junior World Cup last year.
Incredible start by the Junior Boks. Good kickoff by Fly of David Kutsa, putting themselves in an ideal position to get onto the scoreboard first. And you can just sense the passion in both these teams. A tremendous chase by the Junior Boks pack of forwards, putting Georgia under a lot of pressure.
David Kutsa, who went to school at Selborne up in the Eastern Cape. And it's been a remarkable return. In his 2017 year, he missed most of the season. And he's got a lot of perseverance. And Kutsa, perhaps with the pressure, drags that one.
David Kutsa, experienced campaigner in the pivot for South Africa, but goal kicking certainly a work on for the young man. It's something he struggled with throughout his junior career and not the ideal start for him.
And the fly off here, Abshandadze, well, he scored 23 points in a warm-up game against the Junior Boks last year, including a try, and he's really a talent. So the Junior Boks, here we go. Kota feeds it out wide to Kutsa, and here's Duncan. Tied in equal place in terms of tries in the Under-19 Currie Cup last year. Hendrickse of Glenwood High School with the box kick. It's a tester here for Chinchinadze, but he does well the fullback, and he sets off on a bit of a journey. And Nomidze, the inside centre, bundled into touch, but Georgia showing a lot of fight in these early encounters.
Seems like both teams are just feeling each other out. Jaden Hendricks, extremely talented individual in the number 9 jersey for South Africa this afternoon. Well weighted kick chase, not as good as you would expect from an outfit like this.
Good take there from Lowe. And Fenter, the hooker, is at the back. And the Junior Springboks get the penalty.
Georgia's backline coming up the 10 meters before the line-out has been completed and judged to have been offside, and a couple of silly penalties by Georgia in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this encounter, and David Kutsa with another opportunity to get points on the board. And I think this is how the game's going to go today, Justin. The points will be taken when they're on offer. David Kutsa certainly will want to get this one over the crossbar to get some confidence into his kicking style. And I'm sure the South African pack of forwards will want to get stuck in. Hey, they want to make that first tackle, get their hands onto the ball, that first racket, first clean get themselves into this match, because that is vitally important, because you can sometimes find that you're on the field for 10 or 15 minutes and you haven't done anything.
So this is the 4th match in the past year or so between these two sides at under 20 level. South Africa winning the previous 3, and they'll meet each other again in Argentina at the under 20 World Cup in June. David Kotze. Off the woodwork, but much better this time from the fly-off from Western Province.
David Kutzer getting that one over the crossbar, and only just, but that would give him a tremendous amount of confidence. South Africa on the scoreboard 5 minutes into this encounter.
And the crowd, they flocked in. Always a keen interest at this level. Greatly taken there by Sangweni of Kuzni College. Hendrickse with a lovely box kick. And the chase is good as well by Dingaan there. And Georgia, well, they'll be under the pump here.
That's a tremendous kick by Jaden Hendricks. A lot of airtime on that ball. And then Dingaan showing that he has some wheels with a tremendous chase as well, putting Georgia under a lot of pressure. Otto Latsky not being able to look after that.
Damien Fenter from Holt McCall College. Great take by Gumede of DHS. So, Junior Springboks getting them all going here. And they're going to get the free play as well. It's the captain, Franco Horn. Hendrickse works the blind side to Dingaan. His eyes light up. He drops the ball.
Collapsing them all.
A lot of pressure on Georgia at the moment, and a good driving maul set up by the Junior Bucks, and some momentum behind them at the moment. And you'd expect, as you look at David Kutzer lining up the touch line, that they go to touch and try and get the first score on the board.
Right in the red zone here. For the Junior Box, Low with a great take. So here come the Junior Springboks looking for the opening try. It's Fenter, the hooker at the back. He'll have a crack. Good defense by Georgia. And that is a massive moment.
Tremendous stuff by the Georgia pack of forwards. Getting almost walked over in that first driving maul and fighting right back, keeping the blitz or the Junior Box out and forcing the turnover. And this will be a tremendous battle. The pack of forwards of Georgia, they are no slouch, Justin. They're built like a brick house, most of these players. A lot of them play their rugby in France and getting coached in the French academies, and will be extremely competitive.
Jadazweni, up and coming referee.
Go left of the mark. Left.
Really doing great things.
Go left of the mark. Left of the mark.
Big scrum as we look at Zwai Dube, lucid prop of South Africa. He'd want to make statements against a strong Georgian scrum.
Crouch. Bind. Sit. Bit of blood.
You just see there Mnombo Zwedendaba, the outside centre, and Ricketts, Pretorius.
Get a bit closer, please. There it is. Get them closer. Over forward, yeah?
Let's go.
So Georgia, can they escape from their 5 metre?
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
And Georgia, well, they'll love that.
They certainly will, Justin. Azariashvili, Luka Azariashvili, tight prop
Hinging.
from Georgia, drawing the first blood in that instance, and they'll take a lot of courage from that. Under the pump in the first 10 minutes of this match, managed to keep out the driving maul from South Africa, and then forcing the penalty from the resulting scrum.
Tedo Abshandadze, well, spoken about him earlier. He made his debut for his national team against Samoa in November of last year. And at the back there for South Africa, Kamani Kotza, a devastating fullback. Georgia get the line out right. Abshandadze to Azariashvili. Georgia up for this game. And rugby has come along in heaps and bounds. And it's a charge down by Franco Horn. Takes his time. Franco Horn, the captain, gets the opening try for the Junior Springboks.
Tremendous skill by the South African captain, Franco Horn, showing a lot of patience to put the ball onto the toe over the try line, and they're just falling on it. And so many players get tempted into trying to pick that ball up in full pace with a resulting knock-on. Ideal start for South Africa, led by their captain, Franco Horn. The build up by Georgia, promising stuff for them, getting over the gain line with a pack of forwards, and then a kick by their talisman, charged down by the captain, Franco Horn. And look at this presence of mind and the patience just to tow it forward over for the 5 points, and then an ideal start for South Africa. Abshandadze, Tedo Abshandadze for Georgia will be extremely disappointed with that.
Kotza adds the extras. So the Junior Springboks 10, the Junior Lelos 0, and Franco Horn, well, a lot of you will remember his days at Pole Boys High School, 28 tries in 2 years, and a lot of tries as well at Currie Cup level with the under-19s last year. Abshandadze with the kick, taken nicely there by Lowe. And Georgia, well, now can they build a platform here in a decent striking position?
Small errors by both teams in the start and the build up to this first half, Justin. A slight little knock on again by South Africa. Georgia getting the charge down, resulting in 7 points against them. And then South Africa, what they call a coach killer. Hey, you've just put points on the board, receive the kickoff. Make sure that you keep hold of it or go and play in the right areas of the field. Don't give the opposition easy ball in your own half.
This Georgian side, well, they might be known for their forward work, but they've got a lot of backs who have scored against South Africa last year.
And this is going to be a challenge for the referee to manage two front rows that are extremely competitive. The Georgian side have a lot of experience in that front row, and for South Africa, Kudzwai Dube, Damian Fenton, and Asanati Ndlbakanye, they've got the work cut out for them today.
No, I saw him go down. Oh, yeah. Need better stability from your side. Yeah. Let's go. Queen.
So Georgia, can they respond with a score?
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Magali Tatse feeds. And it's a brilliant shove from the Junior Lelos.
Fantastic scrum by Georgia, and they've just made a statement. Have Akladatse, Giagorgi, Agaladatse, Luka Nyoratse, and then Luka Azariashvili, the front row for Georgia, making a statement. Ominous stuff for the South African pack of fours. They do not want to get scrummed like that for the next 70 minutes, Justin.
So Tedo Abshandadze the captain.
Unfortunately, if the scrum stands up, I can't play advantage. Yeah, I have to sanction. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If it's a real advantage, I'll play.
Well, you wanted that one to keep going there.
And rightly so, they've got the advantage. They want to keep playing and chance their arm and see if they can get the 7-pointer instead of taking the 3. But referee just reminding Tedo Abjadanze, the captain, that when the scrum stands up, he's not allowed to play advantage.
Well, you can see that this man has a lot of experience. 7 tests for the national Georgian side, and he gets his team on the board. It's the Junior Springboks 10, Georgia under 20s 3, and we're almost at the 15-minute mark. And it's a great turnout here at Paul Gymnasium. And this time, Lesha Kasheli takes it cleanly. Magali Tadze feeds it away to Nioradze. So Georgia really just taking their time. There's no need to rush. A little bit of crawling there on the ground. Magali Tadze looking for touch. Kotsa, the pivot, is under it. And the Junior Springboks, if they unleash their backs, they can be very dangerous. Work to be done here for the forwards. Jaden Hendrickson. And that time it was Dube, who went to Muir College. And it's another penalty now. Hendrickson doesn't waste any time. Has a go. Great ball there. Great ball again by Pretorius, but Swelindaba can't hang on. And here we go. It's the big number 4, Iashagashvili. Trying to break the line, but some instrumental stuff from the Junior Springboks. So again, Georgia finding themselves in a difficult part of the field.
Number 5.
And they need to exit cleanly. And they're happy to pick and go Rikus Pretorius, who almost set up a try. Makes a good tackle. You can see the number of Georgian players there getting ready for the next pick and drive.
Use it.
It's working the phases, but they can't afford a turnover at all. It's another pick and go. That time it's the 8th man, Gigi Leshkasheli.
Use that 9.
Magali Tatse.
Backwards.
It's an untidy house.
Knock on advantage over.
So he clears. Kotsa. David Kotsa. Some good footwork. Fakir Abrams in support. Hendrickson to see them. Pilo Kumere. Hendrickson. Oh, here we go. The bus. Intlabakanye. Back on the inside to Sangweni.
First one from Georgia.
And he drops the pull.
Second one from South Africa.
Promising stuff by the Junior Box. Good defense keeping the Georgia team under pressure, but you have to mention, quite brave for them to go through so many phases before setting up the kick for relief. Then a strong carry by the Junior Box, building some phases and then also creating an opportunity, Justin. Exciting start to this clash between the SA Under-20 team, or the Junior Box as they've known, and the Georgia Under-20 team.
And this broadcast brought to you by Twizzler and School Sport Live. And it's beautiful to see the game at this level, able to be streamed anywhere in the world.
Frenetic start to this match, Justin. We've seen a lot of tackles being made in the first 20 minutes, a lot of contact being taken by these young men out on the park today. And we can look forward to seeing more than that. Both these teams like to get involved in the physical stuff, and you can bet your bottom dollar on that young man with number 9 on his back, Jaden Hendrickse, to keep on increasing the pace of this game. We saw him take the quick tap that saw Rikus Pretorius into space, and unfortunately Zwellen Dabo not being able to hold on to that ball, because if he did, it would have been a sure 7 points for the junior box.
DHS, Durban High School, in the past 2 or 3 years produced some great loose forwards. One of them there who was in picture, Silempido Kumere, and then also Pepsi Buthelezi. 2 inspirational leaders. So the Junior Springboks, they'll back themselves. Franco Horn has a go. He gets a second. This kid is a talent. What a player. The captain strikes again.
Tremendous stuff by Franco Horn, but first up, great fight back by the pack of forwards to stand up to this Georgian scrum, creating a great platform for this Franco Horn to get over the try line. As we look at this, the scrum, front row working hard, quick ball to the back. Franco Horn just too strong, forcing his way over the try line. In Georgia, in Beke Koriali will be disappointed with that defensive effort.
So a great start for the Junior Springboks. Kotze, no mistake. The radar's back on.
South Africa leading by 17 points to 3. We've not seen a lot of them, Justin. We've seen an opportunistic try from Franco Horn through a charge down, and then just a pick-up from the base of the scrum again by the inspirational captain, getting over for the 5-pointer. 17 points, plays 3, but we've not seen either team play a lot of rugby.
Up Shandadze. He's got a lot of work to do, the captain, to keep Georgia under 20 in the game. Sangweni that time with the carry and collect. Hendrickse. He's got a great boot on him. The number 9, a powerful one.
Very good young sportsman is Jaden Hendrickse. Talented cricketer as well, and can kick the rugby ball a mile. He's also a very good kicker at goal and did that for his school at Glenwood last year. Such a young talent.
Replacements, well, they'll be looking to get some game time. Magale Tatse. And then another loose pass by the captain, Athokia Abrams. He can be devastating. The little winger. Sangweni works the short side. Franco Horn. Well, you've got to be kidding me if he scores another one. He does. Hat-trick time for the captain. Can you believe it? 20 minutes in, the captain scores 3 tries.
Tremendous stuff by Frankie Horn, but also the entire junior Bok team and the build-up to that try. He's been inspirational, and that's exactly what they needed. If you give this Georgia side a sniff, they'll take you all the way, and they've surely
30 minutes now, eh? 30 minutes?
put themselves on the front foot. Yeah, have the junior box. As we look at David Kutzer preparing to line up the kick at goal. Takira Abrams, opportunistic, gets the ball. Great clean up by Rikus Pretorius, and then Zwellen Dabo opting to go to the left. Great option. Get the ball into the hands of this young man, and you'll get rewards.
What's pretty interesting about David Kutzer, he's the only born and bred official fly-off in the side. And considering that he missed most of his final year at school to injury, that's quite spectacular. Not a bad strike, struck it cleanly, but couldn't add the extras. But this is very positive for the Junior Springboks. Often in seasons before, they've struggled at the beginning, and perhaps it's because they've had more time together at their training camps than they've ever had in the past.
It certainly can be, Justin. It's such a clinical start by the Junior Boks. They've had 3 chances. They've taken all 3 of them. They're leading 23 points, or 22-3, 20 minutes into this match, and certainly on the front foot.
It was a great run there by Tsangweni, but he threw the 50-50, Magali Tatse. And here is Akhaladze, the loose head prop. So Georgia now with an opportunity. What do they do?
You'd think that in this instance, Teto Abzandadze, captain, and their inspiration would look up the touchline like he does. Their pack of forwards was dominant in that first scrum. They went out. Surely they could back themselves here in a driving more. They've got a massive pack of forwards. We've mentioned their front row. The second row, Gelashvili, massive individual. Les Kasheli, the 8th man, also not a slouch. So they'll back themselves here to get over for the 5 points.
Nioradze with the throw. Iyayashkashvili.
Numbers, gents. 6 versus 7.
So they get the short arm, Georgia.
Clearly out. You have to be clearly out the line out.
Lucky there for Iyayashkashvili,
Just indicate
because he
to the
didn't
show
take it
hand,
cleanly.
Because I couldn't see if you were clearly out.
But he's going to take 9 there, okay?
Just some
make sure
pressure
you
on
get
the
these 2
Junior Boks. Received the kickoff once again. Didn't manage to exit strongly from there. Gave the ball back
We have to speed it
to
up.
the Georgian side, and now finding themselves under pressure. This scrum from Georgia will be big, and the South African back of fours will have to stand up to this challenge.
So we'll meet there, the number 12 of Georgia, with Tsebo Abshandadze. Those 2 players orchestrated a beautiful try against the under-20 Springboks at last year's World Cup.
Fine. Sit.
Magali Tatse feeds. It's a great scrum from Georgia. You can see they've already played 2 official games, and it's a penalty try, and Georgia are in, and they're back in the game.
Ominous stuff for this Junior Boks. Taking an absolute hammering, Justin, in that scrum, and something they'll have to sort out if they want to compete in this match, because you can't afford to get scrum like that for 18 minutes. Having said that, tremendous stuff by Georgia. Fight back into this match, and they worked really hard for that 7 points.
Hats off there to the forward pack, especially the front row in Georgi Akhaladze and Luka Nioradze and Luka Azarishvili.
Okay, that's time off, Ben.
As is the case when you get given a penalty try, you don't need to kick the conversion, automatic 7 points. And the Junior Boks is taking their time to get back into the midfield to take this kick-off. Surely they have to
Time back on.
recuperate from that, discuss how they're going to sort out that problem and get straight back into it.
Georgia score the next points. They're really in this game, that's for sure. And the 8th man again, Leshakasheli, doing a lot better. Magali
Use
Tatse,
at 9.
looking like one of the leaders in the side, the number 9. In his first year at under 20 level.
Stay on side, please.
Abshandadze. And you could see by his face that he wasn't really happy with the connection, because he knows how ruthless the Junior Springboks can be. Fenter will throw low with sticky hands, takes a great take. And Georgia very physical. Beating away there is Dube.
Taking out the supporter.
Again, the South African pack of forwards
Take
under a
out
bit
the
of pressure
supporter.
from that line out. And the Georgians surely up for this, or certainly up for this match in the physical contest.
I'm happy for the guys to counter. but they
Important
can't
call
take out
here by
supporters.
Captain Franco Horn. Do you up for the 3 points,
Follow.
or do you go for the driving maul? And he's just opted to take the easy 3 points, or hopefully the easy 3 points by David Kutzer. But certainly, Justin, something they'll have to sort out is the physical confrontations that the Georgians will throw at them for the next 60 minutes.
So Kotze. Can he get a valuable 3 points to make it 15 points the difference here after almost 30 minutes at Pole Gymnasium in the Cape Winelands of South Africa. Terrific strike. He turned straight away. Well done, David Kotze.
Good kick by David Kotze. And important for him to get that 3 points on the board for the junior box.
One of 2 Selborne players in the squad. Of course, Nomambo Zwelendabe is the other one. Hendrickse goes up for it. So Georgia have possession. Abjandadze, the captain, with the pass. And there's Otto Lashki, the left winger. Magali Tadze gives it to Nioradze. It's another penalty to Georgia. Yayashkashvili with the carry. Much needed possession. And great running there by the captain, Abshandadze.
Ruck formed.
Another unforced error by South Africa at the breakdown, giving away a penalty straight from the kickoff, and something that South Africa cannot afford to do. They can't afford to score points and then allow Georgia back into this match, because they'll take a lot of courage from this. They'll feel that they within reach. They'll give them a lot of motivation, and they'll put the South African side under pressure. Captain Tero Abjandadze opting for the sideline.
There's the big tight head prop. Angela Bakanye. That's a great line out. Yasha Gashvili with the take. Gigi Leshak with the carry. They're happy to just give their forwards some good ball. Akhaladze that time, the loose head prop. And it's pretty predictable, and as a result, the Junior Springboks get a penalty.
Tremendous stuff by the Junior box. Physically, they're under the cuff here. They've had to stand up against this powerful Georgian team, and getting rewarded with that penalty. Welcome reprieve for the Junior Bok team.
So that ball's not out. And Chinchinadze spreads it wide to Lashki, the left winger. It's a strong carry. Magali Tatse to Chinchinadze, trying to break the line. Georgia searching for an opening. And that time it was Kaptaradze. Magali Tatse. Good slip passes. And that time it was Gelashvili Magali Tatse with a skip ball. A dummy there by the fullback. Phase after phase, Springboks defense really impressive at the moment. Magali Tatse to Tero Abshandadze. There's an overlap here. But the defense is scrambling well. And Georgia are going backwards. They need another plan. Nioradze, the hooker.
You've missed it.
Abshandadze with a skip ball to Lumidze. with the handoff. Great offload there. And Hendrikse finds some space. And that's a great kick by the number 9. He has a good head on him.
Clever kick by Jaden Hendrikse, some space in behind, and an unfortunate bounce for the young man. But defensively, South Africa will be happy with that. Under pressure a couple of times, managed to close out the Georgian attack with some great line speed and good defense on the edges, forcing the turnover.
Nioradze with the throw. Magalitadze and Achaladze. They call him Gita, his teammates. Magalitadze and Thakia Abrams. He can step 3 players in a telephone box. This customer, look at him go.
You missed it now, leave it.
Hendrikse into La Bacania. He's got a bag of tricks. And then an unlikely error there. And that will just frustrate Sean Roux.
Jaden Hendricks, what a talent, and unfortunate because Rikus Pretorius was coming like a steam train on a great angle, looking for that short pass from Jaden Hendricks, and what a sight that would have been to see the big man in space. Rikus Pretorius, a massive midfielder for the junior box.
Get off the mark, please. Get off the mark. There's the mark.
I think at the moment for Georgia is they are matching the Springboks physically, but their backline needs to find some magic at some stage and break the Springboks defense.
Just get the feeling this will be a forward battle for the remainder of the 18 minutes, and what will unlock the key is some sort of magic from the backline to get in over the try line.
No, this side is fine now. It's that side now. You guys are fine now? Going over to the other side.
Scrum time, a bit of a mess, Justin. The Georgian side extremely strong in their scrummaging. I've mentioned this before. A lot of these players in the French academies learning their trade in France. South Africa, they've got their work cut out for them.
Just remember the series is being played over 3 days. On Saturday, it's Argentina versus Georgia, and the Springboks versus Namibia at Tygerberg Rugby Club. It's another great scrum by Georgia, and boy do they love scrumming, Andries.
They certainly do, Justin, and you'd imagine that if it keeps on going like this, they'd almost knock on the ball on purpose to get scrumming, get a penalty and kick the ball 40 metres down the field.
And the open side flanker, Beka Koriauli. Abshandadze. Well, he does that a lot. So you would expect that to go out in a decent position. Georgia now. The Paul Gymnasium kids out here and support at their home grounds. Paul Gymnasium have uppies here on Saturday.
Sack's fine.
And the sack is good by the Junior Springboks. Georgia still in possession. Magalitadze. And this time it's Gedashvili, the number 5. Magalitadze works on the short side. Yashvili trying to find his blindside flanker and Koda Tauri. And here's the open side flanker, and he's hit really hard there by Entla Bakanye. And the turnover is good.
Release it now, Georgia.
Hendrikse, Kutsa, and here is Kamani Kotsa. Switch ball to Rikus Pretorius.
That's advantage over.
And the race will be on here. Dingaan has to go back.
Criminal stuff by South Africa. Worked hard for that turnover. Got some space there on the right hand edge. And this man is dangerous with ball in hand. Unfortunately, Rikus Pretorius couldn't hold on to that. Encouraging stuff from South Africa. Defensively, they look strong. They're making good tackles. And they're taking the space away from this Georgian side. But certainly in the set piece is something that will concern Coach Sean Roux.
You can just see there in Hlabakanye, always built like an ambulance, the tight head prop.
Certainly is, and here's a great part of this team, one of the characters in the junior box side, and other players, you might not say it looking at his physique, but they feed off his energy. If you look at this, Kota coming around, danger with ball in hand, sneaky offload to Rikus Pretorius. Not expecting that and knocking the ball on as a result. South Africa, on the attack, they've not really found their feet here, Justin. They've scored 3 tries, one from a charge down, one just from a pickup, and one from turnover ball. So they've not worked extremely hard for their 25 points, but they've had to work extremely hard to keep the Georgia side to 10 points only.
Rikus Pretorius, well, out of Grey College, Andres, you'll be very proud, but he's still got a long way to go.
Yes, he has, but he is a promising young rugby player.
Hold on. Water.
Has all the physical capabilities required to go all the way.
Good take there by Nkube.
Number 1, in from the side. Sorry, it's on the 15. It's on the 15.
Good result for South Africa, and a time for David Kutzer to just kick this ball down the field.
Captain.
Get some relief for the South Africans. They've done a lot of defending.
It's now become a trend that every single time they've got a line out,
the last 10 minutes.
More, someone infringes. Right. We have to make sure no one infringes there more, otherwise guys are going to go to the bin. Okay, get the message across.
You get the feeling, Justin, that Tedo Abjangadze, captain from Georgia, didn't really have a clue what the referee told him there.
Ball's out, yeah, play out.
Hendricks, Akhaladze with a little offload there, but he finds Gumere. The Terminator, Silempilo Gumere. A great offload, yeah. Here we go. Oh, it's try time. It's party time at the Young Creole Field. The fly off, David Kutzer strikes.
David Kutzer over for the 5 points. Justin Silempilo Gumere. How inspirational is that young man for the junior box? You got the feeling that he threw it away. He had the opportunity to offload to Dungan earlier on. Decided to keep it. Got the offload away on the floor. David Kutzer, take a bow. Highlight Jaden Hendricks. So we've talked about this kid and the amount of talent he had. Just turned that ball over, and unfortunately here for Georgia, forcing the pass into the wrong guy's hand. Silempilo Gumere. Don't give this guy a sniff because he'll take the whole thing. And in this instance, you thought he should have offloaded to Dungan, but no, takes the ball to ground, gives it to David Kutzer, who still had a lot of work to get over the whitewash.
Gumere, of course, SA Schools in 2018 and 2017. Kutzer adds the extras. And this really looks like a promising junior Springboks side, although it's very early in the season.
Yeah, and the referee blows the whistle for half-time, Justin. Ideal finish to the half for the junior box. Under a lot of pressure defensively at set-piece time, still managed to get away with a 32 to 10 point lead. Exciting stuff.
So that's half-time. We saw 3 great tries from Franco Horn for the junior Springboks, and as well as from Flav, David Kutzer, and then Georgia got a lovely penalty try for their forward packs.
Time is running out for the African Rhino, which is why this was such a great opportunity to expose Nicholas Pinnock, the actor in Investec's new brand campaign, to the realities of the Rhino crisis. We need international voices to reach new audiences and expose the depth of this humanitarian issue.
I thought I was going to go in there feeling good about, being that close to a wild animal. But I was angry. I was angry that we were being forced to be there doing what we were doing today, because there is a mindset among certain human beings that seems to think it's okay to go and chop the horns off a rhino.
We're South Africans. We know how to live life. And we know that moments make memories. The kind you laugh about with loved ones. Those are Twiza moments. Like the time an ordinary night out with friends turned into the best night of your lives. Or the time a trip home turned into a family reunion. Or when a dream became a reality, or a friendship became a partnership. Those are Twiza moments. Moments when you can almost taste the sunshine. Taste the spirit of Africa growing stronger in you. Taste the flavors that turn good times into the best of times. Made bigger, better, and brighter. Taste the moment with Twiza.
So we're back here at Paul Gymnasium on the Jan Kriel Field out here in the Cape Winelands of South Africa. And Georgia, well, their forward pack there, 1-8, did a very good job of getting a penalty try. Some big men in that front row, Akhaladze, Nioradze, Azarishvili. And then their locks have been pretty industrious as well with Ishagashvili and Gelashvili. And also their luge trio has had to get through so many tackles as well because the Junior Springboks have been rampant. Koriauli, Kodatauri, and Leshka Sheli. And then also their backline haven't really had opportunities at all really. Georgi Magalitadze and Tero Abshandadze, the captain. He's really tried to dictate things for his side, but he's struggling against a rampaging Springbok side. And then also their centres struggling to find any holes. Lomitse and Tabladze, who was so dangerous at the Under-20 World Cup last year. And then their back three of Lashki, Gavtaradze and Chinchinadze. Andries, they'll be looking for more opportunities in the second half.
They certainly will, Justin, and we're probably fortunate that they haven't had a lot of the ball because a lot of tongue twisters in the pronunciations of those surnames for yourself and I. But yes, they've got some athletic individuals in the backline, strong, powerful, athletic runners, and they haven't had any opportunities, partly because of the way the South Africans have defended. They've done really well. They've taken away their space and they've forced the Georgian side to make some decisions under pressure. And then partly because the fly half, Tero Azadadze, has decided to play on the right parts of the field. In the second half, they've got a slight breeze behind their backs, and it'll be easier for them to kick the ball into the corners of the South African team and then put them under pressure at set piece, because that is where the South African team has been struggling, is at the set piece.
Jadasweni and the coaching or the refereeing squad, they're doing a tremendous job. And there's Evan Ruiz as well in picture on the left. He'll be raring to get on the field. And Sean Roux, well, he knows it's a long season ahead.
Sean Roux, coach of the Junior Box, he'd be slightly concerned at the way the scrums have been going and also the manner in which they've struggled to deal with the rolling maul of the Georgia side. Going into the World Cup, there are a couple of non-negotiables that you have to sort out. The set piece being one of them. Going into the World Cup, you cannot struggle at set piece time. The other one is goal kicking. You need a fly half that can, or a kicker at least, that can keep the scoreboard ticking. David Kutzer struggled at first. He's moved and actually grown into this match, and his kicking's gotten a lot better as this game's gone on. But certainly, the Junior Box side Not the finished product yet, but a lot of confidence and a lot of positives from the first 40 odd minutes we see now.
So just for the Junior Springboks and Georgia, they're at the same pool in June in the under-20 tournament in Argentina. And in that pool is Scotland and Georgia as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Also along with New Zealand. So a lot of tough matchups left in the race to that title. But right now, it's about getting combinations right, going through the phases, giving everyone a run, and building something to work with.
And the last time the Junior Boks won the World Cup, they had a man from this very school in the pivot for South Africa. Andre Pollard was absolutely exceptional for the Junior Boks at the time, and as a result, he carried his team together with some other inspirational players to a World Cup victory, and has rightly been rewarded with a number 10 jumper for South Africa, and he will be important for the South African side going into the World Cup in Japan come September time. Pack of forwards and picture. Looks like a couple of changes will be made for the South African side. Looks like Jaco Labuschagne would make his way onto the field, so will Evan Ruiz. He'll have a go, and also Janku Swanepoel, a member from Stellenberg, playing for the South African under-20 side.
And also his fellow teammates, Angela Davids, with the 7 side at the moment. That's why he's not in the squad, but he will be returning.
Angelo Davids, a member of this under-20 group for South Africa, being pulled into the 7 side for their trip to Hong Kong, and he'll be a welcome addition to the South African under-20 team.
So it's a beautiful setting out here in the Cape, one of the finer places in the world, and the Georgians, well, they're loving it as well.
Also on the field for South Africa, Joe van Zyl replacing Damian Venter, and you feel like South Africa have opted for a heavier pack of forwards to deal with the struggles at scrum time.
Abshandadze. Dingaan, the electrifying right winger, takes it into contact. Hendrickse gives it a thump, and it's another superb kick from the man who was schooled at Glenwood High School.
I've said this a lot, but Jaden Hendrickse, what a player, fantastic kick, and that's something you need. A scrum half or a fly half that can kick the ball into the opposition half from the kickoff to take some pressure off.
Nioradze. Yashagashvili with a good take. Abshandadze, great ball there. And Georgia, well, for the first time, looking dangerous, but it was a forward pass.
Yeah, we mentioned them, Justin, some dangerous athletes in the backline for Georgia. Also, you get the feeling that they're well coached and they know how to run strong lines on the attack. Fortunately for South Africa, a forward pass, but this is something the pack of forwards would not be looking forward to. They've struggled at scrum time. Let's see if they fix it up over the half-time break.
This broadcast brought to you by Twizzler and SuperSport Live. You can also catch the action on the DSTV Now app as well, and the SuperSport app.
Sit.
Franco Horn, Hendrickse looking for some room. And Georgia, well, they exit really well there.
Yeah, Jaden Hendricks is seeing some space in behind the Georgia defence. Unfortunately, the kick not exactly where he intended it to go. Got a little deflection off a Georgia player. But still South Africa with the ball in position.
Hey. Don't push him out the way. Open up, please.
And
They
you,
will
then,
give
you
they
think,
will give you
Justin, that
numbers.
this is just
Get
purely
on the line. Give them numbers.
a language barrier.
Georgia get a turnover. Hard work there from Labuskachny, who's on. Georgi Akhaladze,
Release it,
the loose
18.
head prop.
Hands off.
Alania beats it away there to
Tackle.
Gedashvili. Alania. Abshandadze. They spread the ball wide. There's room on the right.
Yep.
And again, it's just the execution.
Execution, Justin, you mentioned it for the Georgian backline, not exactly what they would have wanted, but the South African backs are putting a lot of pressure on them. They're forcing the Georgians to make decisions under pressure. They're testing their skill set, and they're getting some reward off that. But you get the feeling if one or two of those passes stick, that South Africa could be under a bit of pressure.
Full back there. Timo Chinchinatse.
Yeah, just waiting
Jada
for a pop.
Sweni, well, also a good rugby player in his heyday,
Captain.
and due to
Just one
some
request from our
serious
side.
injuries
The line out, they're giving you
in
guys numbers.
2010, he
Can you
decided
please do
to
the same?
take up the refereeing.
Is that a substitute coming on? Uncle Ben? Let's go.
Georgia sending on the first replacement in the front row. Michela Maruzidze coming on in a powerful front row and getting it right back, or right into the thick of things.
Paul Gymnasium faithful, and a kid from Boys High as well in the middle there. That must be interesting.
Crouch.
Possibly calling for some help.
Bye. Sit.
Franco Horn with work to do, the captain. Hendrikse.
Counteract's good.
And that is a great counter-ruck there by Georgia. And they got numbers on the left here. It's a good carry by the centre, Gumidze. But the issue for Georgia is they're just struggling to find some magic and some execution through their backline. Alania goes blind. And Rikus Pretorius looks like he took a knock there. And Sean Rue, the coach, will hope that that's not too serious.
Release that double green.
So Georgia, well, they're in no rush. Absandache and Kota. And you can just see the experience there of the captain, Tero Abshandadze, with a great kick.
It's a tremendous kick by the young man, and they do have the wind at their back. And we mentioned it just after the break, Justin, that he'd be influential and instrumental for this Georgia side to get them onto the front foot. Rikus Pretorius has stayed down after that hit on Margila Tatse. As we look at James Molensev, formerly from the Free State, coming onto the park.
What is that, Ashley? Thank you.
Hendrikse, the big man, Intla Bakanye. The ambulance. It's a sight to behold when he's in full flight. Thakia Abrams giving chase, but it's well into touch. And Andries, the kicking game of the Junior Springboks through Hendrikse and Kutse is a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, certainly, and we've mentioned this before. Jaden Hendrikse, he is an extremely mature 19-year-old, with the way he's handled this game. His kick out of hand's been phenomenal. He's made the one or the two mistakes that I can think of, a little fumble of the ball that actually resulted in the South African try, and then the one kick away in the half of Georgia. But apart from those small errors, he has been incredible for the junior box.
Coaching staff there of Georgia. Their head coach played over a span of 10 years for the national side. 21 tests and 1 try as well. Ilya Maya Zuradze. Great take by Gedashvili. Another good pass there from Abshandadze.
He's released.
And they're really looking for some momentum. Oh, Georgia.
Backwards.
And this will be trouble. The kick and chase here. So many numbers flying after Takir Abrams with great defense.
Okay.
And what good work there by the left winger.
Tremendous stuff by Takir Abrams. The kick is only as good as the chase, and he certainly put in a great chase there for South Africa. Forcing the 5-meter scrum, an ideal opportunity for South Africa to get into the scoreboard in the second half. Most of the games been played in their own half or just around about the halfway line, and right now
Green scrum, yeah?
the junior box have an opportunity to get onto the scoreboard.
Johan van Zyl, the hooker on there for South Africa, replacement hooker.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Franco Horn looking for 4. It's been the Franco Horn show. Good defense that time. Hendrickson
Penalty advantage for
wants
side.
a meat pie of his own.
Release it. Georgia, release.
And the ambulance has a crack. Here we go, great leg drive. And coming up with it there is Labaskakni. No, it's Janku Swanepoel out of Stellenberg who scores. A great leg drive.
Multiple offsides.
Great try by the junior box. They showed a lot of composure. Just rolled up their sleeves, got into the hard work, and got the reward of a 5-pointer. This young man out of Stellenberg, Janku Swanepoel, getting over for the 5-pointer.
Only had 1 sprint.
Getting help from his captain, Franco Horn.
Let the sweat for you. You know how
driving over and getting it over the whitewash.
So it's been such an exciting start of the season for the Junior Springboks. And Stellenberg High School will be very proud of that man, Janku Swanepoel. And Georgia well behind now in this game. And also Andriessen must be quite difficult adjusting to the heat down here.
Definitely will be, but the South Africans have been extremely clinical in their approach to this match, and they've taken every single opportunity they got given.
Hendrickson. And he really loves the kick, this number 9.
6 and 8. 6 and number 8.
Jaden Hendrickson
6 and 9
playing the conditions quite nicely, kicking the ball into touch, allowing his forwards to put pressure on the Georgian line out. As we see some substitutions coming on for South Africa. So we see Susangweni and Franco Horn getting substituted by Pepsi Buthelezi coming onto the field.
That number, out. 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 Are the subs done? Okay, let's go.
Nioradze with a great throw there. And Georgia, on patches, they've been good. And they've got the penalty.
In from the side and collapsing. 19 in from the side and collapsing.
Yanku Swanepoel coming in from the side, collapsing that maul. And this is exactly what Georgia needed, opportunity to kick the ball into the corner and get the pack of forwards on the front foot, because that's what they thrive on, Justin. The Georgian team thrives on their pack of forwards, go forward, getting stuck into the physical battles, and their backs feed off that. They get energized by a pack of forwards going forward.
He sacked the jumper early.
So Nioradze needs to get the throw right. And the new man makes a mistake. Hacked ahead there from Van Zyl. Yazlashki. It's actually Kaptaradze, the right winger, heading it up. Georgia have numbers on the left. They've got an overlap. The show and go. Good defense by the junior box. And this man, Gusharashvili, has injected himself very well. Abshandadze. And it's an unforced error.
Advantage over.
And the hack ahead. And Iagashvili has some work to do. So Georgia now really making it difficult for themselves.
Relax, stay there.
Kadazweni telling Zwelendaba to relax and not do anything naughty.
Use it 9. Take him back.
Abshandadze.
Take him back. Taken back, gents.
Ball's been taken back by Georgia, and that's where they line out all the way in their own 22. A tremendous kick by Tedor Abjandadze, but unfortunately the ball being taken back into the 22 area. And a line out for South Africa, 20 meters out from the Georgian try line.
Number 17.
Now, what South Africa have done well, Justin, they've stood up physically to this Georgian side. They've not shied away from the confrontations. They've put their bodies on the line. They've absorbed what Georgia had to throw them. And every time they got opportunity, they made sure they capitalized. They kept the scoreboard ticking over. And as a result, they're leading by 29 points, 15 minutes into the second half.
Van Zyl, Buthelezi taps it back. Takir Abrams looking for an opening. Franco Horn working hard. Lucky Tlepu with a beautiful pop ball there to Labaskachny. Tlepu, who was schooled at Sachs. So a proud moment for Sachs. The Junior Springboks look for another try. And Tlabakanye has put in a good shift in 55 minutes. Lucky Tlepu frees it away to Masuku.
No, you're off the mark. Mark's over there. You're on the 5, not back 10.
Tlepu looking so hungry, he wants a meat pie. The Junior Springboks looking relentless here.
Stay on your feet.
The pick and drive. Edging so close to the line. Georgia trying to hold the Junior Springboks out. And it's a forwards game at the moment. Buthelezi has a crack. So many phases. Tlepu. And Masuku again, the tight end prop. Lucky Tlepu back on the inside there to Buthelezi. And it's play on. So chase back here for Amani Kota. And will he set off on an adventure? Oh, it's electrifying from Kota. Really good run, some good defense as well from Georgia in the form of Tapalatse.
Good defense by Georgia. Kota, what a dangerous runner he is. Getting held up, not the biggest individual on the park, Justin, and getting held up, forcing the turnover by Georgia. South African pack of fours sensing blood that they had opportunity to close up this match. Lucky Tlepu also had the feeling that if they had this opportunity to score a try there, they'd take this game away from Georgia. Hence the quick taps, the build up to the try. Unfortunate knock-on by South Africa. But look at this man, such a balanced runner, sees some space, he's going to take on anyone if he has the opportunity, finds a bit of space, and unfortunately couldn't get the offload away. And fantastic defense by Georgia, keeping up off his feet.
Amani Kota, schooled at Volcom Gym. SA Schools 2 years ago, and he's with the Bulls at the moment. It's been a good turnout here, which is the first day of 3 days of this International Under-20 Series.
And I've never seen a youngster shy of a camera, Justin.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
So Georgia, they're after a clean line break here. Alania Abshandadze, the captain, with a beautiful pass here to Lashki. Great running down the outside. And some good defense from the Junior Springboks. Abshandadze with a flat ball to one of his big men. Alania Tapladze, the outside centre. And it just seems as if when Georgia spread the ball wide, they get suffocated. And they need to try work out something, and they need to work it out fast. Abchandadze with a great kick. But at the end of the day, Henri's, the Junior Springboks won't mind this with this 29-point lead.
Yeah, that's a compliment to the way the Junior Boks have been defending, forcing Georgia to kick the ball, although that's a very good kick by the captain into South African 22-meter line. But you can clearly see the influence of Jacques Nienaber, the Springbok defensive coach, in this Junior Bok defensive system.
Georgia, well, can they get lucky here? A mix-up at line-out time.
No more, Captain.
And Georgia have players on the outside. Alania says to his number 20, Kuyarashvili, have a crack. They want try number 2. Azariashvili really close there. They got numbers on the outside. Tedo Abshandadze with a great floaty pass. And it's hold up.
Tremendous defense, South Africa, under a lot of pressure, keeping up that ball. And you had the feeling one more pass would have done the trick for the Georgian side. Just look at them carry into contact. Joe Van Zyl working hard, getting the offload away. James Molense and Takera Abrams take a bow, keeping that ball off the floor. Slightly fortunate also, I got the feeling that was still short of the try line. And South Africa had no right to hold on to that ball, but the referee deeming that ball was held up. Scrum to Georgia. Now this is a test for the Junior Boks, Justin. They got given away a penalty try, the only try they've conceded today, and Georgia will be licking their lips for this opportunity.
Get a prop in for South Africa, please. Yep.
It's the forward pack. They've worked hard.
Yeah, they sent him off.
The Georgian forward pack.
Tell him to run on. Thank you.
And here's a massive moment for Hanro Jacobs, who was schooled at Polrus Gymnasium. He's on the field. The big grizzly bear.
We still have about 15.
And he's a very skillful prop as well. His mates call him Bunny.
One of my favourite players in the 2018 schoolboy rugby season, a phenomenal rugby player, exciting to watch. He's got all the skill in the world. He's got a frame like a brick house, just in the heart of a lion. Tremendous individual is Henry Jacobs, formerly from Polrus.
He'll be pumped in the scrum. It'll be a difficult challenge.
Set.
And first up, he gets a penalty. I don't think he realizes it, Hanro Jacobs, but he gets a pat on the back from Pepsi Buthelezi.
Baptism of fire for the young man, going up against the extremely powerful scrum in Georgia. And I think, Justin, this is a bit of a lottery at scrum time.
So Argentina there, one of the players in the impressive victory over Namibia's open age side. And Alania freeing it away there to his blindside flanker, the hack ahead from Franco Horn. And Georgia, when they've been in decent parts of the field, they've thrown it away. And Abshandadze, the captain, has to come to the rescue. And Kamani Kota takes contact. And here's a real opportunity now for Georgia. With all their territory and all the opportunity that they have had, they'll be expecting Andries to crash over the chalk.
Kavdaradze take a bow. That was tremendous defense by Zurab Kavdaradze from Georgia. "17 minutes left in this game, Justin. You get the feeling that Georgia need to get onto the scoreboard if they want to stand any chance of winning this match."
Great take there from Isha Yashvili. And they've got the free play as well. So Georgia now, can they stay determined and can they stay composed?
Number 5, taking out the supporter. 10, we need to be careful what we do in this area.
This will be a test of character for the junior box up against the powerful pack of forwards from Georgia. Will they be able to front up physically?
Nioradze, his throwing has been crisp. And here comes Georgia. Jadasweni says it's hold up. But they're really gunning for it.
Vasily Dlepo take a bow here. Not the biggest man on the park, and a tremendous well to keep the ball off the ground.
And then it was this play over here, taking out the front supporter. If it happens again, you're going to leave me an option. Yeah.
South Africa's discipline coming under question by the referee and captain Franco Horn being asked to have a chat to his team. As a look at this, Lucky Dlepo, Vasily Dlepo up against it, against a massive Georgian team, and kept that ball off the ground. Great heart shown by the young individual.
Okay, just hold on. Hold on.
Jadasweni controlling the game like it's a test match, showing his experience. Nioradze, Georgia in search of a second try, and they'll go wild if they can cross the chalk.
Watch outside, Walid.
Their forwards have worked really hard. Alania, the pick lock forward. Yashakashvili. Alania slips the pass away. And for all this possession, they need to score. Otherwise, they could be demoralized.
Use it.
So many cracks at the line. The junior, Lelos.
Georgia, use it. Hey, hey. Don't shot.
Alania just trying to use their strength. And the Junior Springboks are making tackle after tackle. Alania, great slip pass there from the captain, Abshandadze. And the Junior Springboks with great defense.
Joe van Zyl, what a moment, massive moment in this game. Tremendous heart shown by the Junior Boks, a lot of courage to keep out the Georgia side. And they'll take a lot from this. A lot can be seen in the team's defense and the courage they have and their eagerness to work for each other. Joe van Zyl, perfect body position, strong over the ball, forcing the penalty. And this is what Sean Ruud liked to see in his team, Justin. The willingness to work for each other, to make the tackles, to front up physically, to keep the opposing team from scoring tries.
Good, sir. It's a great kick.
Georgia, you on the line there? Take the line. Yeah.
Great take there from Nabaskakti, Molense, Kutsa, and Kota. And Georgia, well, despite the scoreline, they've really showed some good character out here.
Yeah, they've put a lot of pressure on South Africa, forcing a turnover. It's one of those moves by the backline from the Junior Boks. It seemed to be perfect on the training field, but in practice, if you don't have the timing extremely accurate or spot on, you can get punished off it. And in that instance, they got it slightly wrong, and a penalty against them, and they find themselves 5 meters out again.
Kuratashvili, the replacement hooker. And he starts off well. Iyashagashvili is pumped. Georgia in search of a vital second score. They're agonizing it close, and they've been camped here for a while. The Junior Springboks have been up for these pick and drives. Iyashagashvili slipped the pass there. Try time. No, it's not. It's a penalty, and that will really be frustrating there for Azariashvili and Lucky Lepu. Taps and goes.
Very cheeky by Lucky Lepu. Realizing that Georgia aren't 10 meters away, took the quick tap, forced the penalty or the 10 meters march on by the referee, giving the kicker a better angle to kick from, and also further up the field. Great courage shown again once by the Junior Boks.
Do you understand what happened at the
preventing Georgia from scoring a try.
So Molense, well, he'll be relieved there.
James Molense, a midfielder that can also play in the fly half position, might I say. Very versatile, short, stocky player, but extremely powerful is James Molense.
Been turned. So Kuratashvili, the replacement hooker, right in it. Lashki summing up his options. And it's a great run by the winger. And then he gets excited and he lets it go. So what a pity after so much work there by Otto Lashki.
Otto Lashki doing extremely well to get over the gain line. Worked his way through a couple of tackles and found himself in space, Justin, and unfortunately knocking on that ball. But silly errors are just creeping into the Junior Boks game. They've played extremely well the first half. They were very clinical. They took the opportunities. They've made a limited amount of mistakes, but they've just allowed Georgia to come into this game in the second half it's as if they've just taken the foot off the throttle or the pedal and just, they've just gone to bed slightly, giving Georgia a sniff.
Ben, can I get a time check, please? 10 minutes, gents.
Well, the only try of the half was through Janku Swanepoel.
Just hold on. Stand up.
And it's been a dry second half.
Guys, can we just control the subs, please? Don't let them...
Some confusion on the side of the field. Substitutes coming on and off. How pleased you'd feel at the moment. But a big test for the Junior Box. Henry Jacobs only had one opportunity to scrum.
Thank you.
Joe van Zyl in the hooker position, and then
Left.
Masaku
Mark.
Musuku
Left.
packing up in the scrum.
Left. Okay. Left of Mark. Let's go.
So the Junior Springboks, will they try go coast to coast?
Crouch.
Or will they play conservatively?
Fine. Sit.
And Tulepu, it's a tough one, but it's a penalty. You can see the hunger from Lucky Tulepu. He just wants to get going. And it's a yellow card here to the replacement scrum half, Alania.
Michael Alanya getting the first yellow card of the competition and of the day for a professional foul. And a get out of jail free card for South Africa. They've played most of the rugby in this part of the field, James Malensa looking up touch, but they've not been great. They've not shown a lot about what they can do on the attack. Defensively, they've obviously been very, very strong. We mentioned it slightly earlier that you can see the influence of Jacques Nina, the defensive coach of the Springboks, and the way they're defending. But on the attack, they've just been a bit lackluster.
Tackle now.
It's there for Georgia. Absandache to Iya Shagashvili. And he's been a standout for Georgia, the number 4 lock. He's been their go-to player.
Defensive pressure from South Africa, once again forcing the offload. And that's one positive from the game for South Africa. On defense, they've really, really tested the skill sets of the Georgians, and it's worked for them. They've really forced over the turnovers. They've gotten a lot of gains from it, a lot of possessions from the way they're pushing off the line with so much speed.
So he's basically kicking his hips out.
This is one part of the game that they'd have to work on. The scrum time, they've been put under pressure by Georgia.
Thank you.
And Georgia, well, they'll be frustrated with the amount of ball that they've had. And the amount of territory.
Crouch.
Only having so far one try to show for it.
Sit.
Franco Horn to Klepu. It's a wayward pass, but it's picked up by a dangerous player, and Duncan to Pepsi Buthelezi. Oh, the big don't argue. And he fends off one to Franco Horn, who's going for 4 tries. This man is unstoppable. He's like an army soldier. 4 tries. It's the Franco Horn show out here at the Young Creole Field.
Franco Horn, tremendous. The young individual, 8-man captain for South Africa, getting over for his 4th try of the day. Really inspirational stuff by Franco Horn. We've just chatted about the attack from South Africa, how they lack a bit of ingenuity. Breakdown, sloppy ball from South Africa. Pepsi Buthelezi takes control, gets the boys on the front foot, offload to the captain Franco Horn, who goes over for the 5 points. Kicked over by David Coetzee. Look at this, off the back of a sloppy ball, then gone with a magical offload to Pepsi Buthelezi. And that right there, the offload in contact, the offload from the floor. We've seen so many tries resulting from that over the course of this match and the previous match.
Franco Horn, he's got good pace for an 8th man. I'll tell you what, if you miss a tackle or 2, he can run a big distance. So much pace. Franco Horn, what's been a skipper's innings.
Collapsing more.
So the Junior Springboks want their third try of the half. Kutsa to Molense. Duncan, beautiful stuff. Kamani Kota. Here we go. Caleb Duncan setting the Jan Kriel Field alight here out at Paul Gymnasium in the Cape Winelands. And Andries, some devastating stuff from the Junior Springboks.
And that is what we've been waiting for, Justin. Some attacking ingenuity from the South African team. And as we mentioned, that magic from Andrew Kota into space, put into space by Caleb Duncan, and who then followed up his own path to receive the final one, to get over the try line. And all of a sudden, the scoreline is very flattering for the Junior Boks. Good running lines from the South Africans, biting it on defense. Andrew Kota into space, he'll cut you open. And then Caleb Duncan over for 5 points.
The kid, or the young man should I say, from Western Secondary School, they'll be very proud of him. 10 tries in the Currie Cup last year at under 19 level. So considering it's the first international for the Junior Springboks under 20, they've scored 7 tries despite the first 25 or 30 minutes of the second half. They've put on a good overall performance. Swanepoel that time slipping the pass to Van Sail. And they're looking to end off with a flurry here. Franco Horn to Kutsa with a great skip ball to Abrams to Molense. And great confidence shown, just a pity there at the end, Andries.
Yeah, South Africa showing a bit of more confidence in the attack at the moment, using the width of the field, having the the confidence, the vision to take the space when it's given to them on the edges, and unfortunately the ball going to ground. And that's something we saw from the Argentinians in the previous match. The offloading contact just seemed to stick all the time, and they got so much go forward and continuity from the offloading contact, putting the defense under pressure, and then keeping hold of the ball is something that was encouraging from the Argentinians. South Africa showing a glimpse of it at the moment, but a lot to work on.
Sit.
Ready. That's fine. Can't take the heat. Yeah, Barney. Let's go. Yeah, Barney. He's beating you. Look at him.
Anything your side?
Let's go.
Remember to press the button now. I can't hear you.
Let's go. Let's go, Queen.
Listen to the call, please, gents.
Hips.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
Ready.
Karazishvili with the feed. In the one area Georgia have done pretty well at times has been the scrum. They've got their only try from a scrum as well through a penalty try.
They've been very good at scrum time, and they always are, the Georgians, and they've known for their scrummaging, and they've produced some world-class props, all of them playing their rugby in France.
22 or scrum.
And captain
Scrum
Agyan
from where he kicked
Dadze
it.
making a criminal error, kicking the ball directly into the end goal.
Scrum.
But yeah, the scrum time's been great for them. An interesting call here by South Africa, opting to go for the scrum against the powerful Georgian scrum.
Let's go. That's on, man. Hips.
Crouch.
Short arm, Lepu, he always take it quickly. Kutsa, Abrams sets off on a good run, almost tackled high. Brilliant ball, it's a great ball to Molense, who should have the pace to go all the way. And that is what you call a phenomenal finish to a great Junior Springboks performance.
Yeah, worried about the attacking abilities of this Junior Boks side in the first 60 or 70 minutes of this game. They've come back in the last 10 and shown us exactly what they can do. Abrams showing some pace and skill and a fight to get through the tackle. And then James Molense, what a powerful individual he is. Strong, stocky, wheels to burn, and scored in a great individual try by the young man. South Africa on their attack look a lot better in the last 15 minutes of this match.
Yeah, let's take the kick off.
There's still time.
Yeah,
So
no, he's
8
done.
tries
He's not going to come back.
for the Junior Springboks.
Sorry, Uncle.
And it really looks like this extra time that they've had together has done them really well with those 2 games against the Western Province Challenge side and then a Boerland side as well. Buthelezi, he won't stop. Strong and powerful carry. Tlepu, low, Kutsa, Molense again. A little bit of a goosey, a beautiful switch ball. And yes, Franco Horn, 4 impressive tries. A man of the match performance.
It's been a good performance by the South African side, Justin. They've been under pressure. They've had to show a lot of courage and determination to keep the Georgia side out. They've defended their line for extended periods of time in the second half, and they managed to keep them out. All in all, a very encouraging start to this campaign for Sean Roux and his side. Plenty of work-ons for them as well. It's not the complete product yet, but they'll take a lot of confidence and positives from this match. And certainly it's a performance that they can build on.
Kuratishvili, Ishakashvili and Georgia, well, they deserve a second try here. They really do, for all their possession they have had. Ishakashvili has a crack. Well, you can't really get closer than that. They're stretching. It's hold up.
Too many bodies on the ground. I don't know where the ball is. Can't guess.
And that's all. So the Junior Springboks in their first game in fine form here with a 58 points to 10 victory. 8 tries were scored, half of them by captain fantastic Franco Horn. And then also tries through Dingaan, Molense, Kutsa the Flav, Yanku Swanepoel. And it's really been a great start to their season. So just remember, on Saturday at the Tygerberg Rugby Club, it's the second day of this wonderful International Under-20s warm-up games. We've got Argentina taking on Georgia, and then the Junior Springboks versus Namibia.
Start for you as a team, 4 meat pies for yourself. What do you have to say about that?
No, I'm just lucky that I have the team around me. Without them, I couldn't score one of those. So it's more team effort than anything else. I thought it was a great start. In the second half, the beginning of the second half, we lacked a bit of accuracy, but at the end we picked it up, especially with the defense on our try line. I think it was an immense performance by the boys.
You were under the cuff a lot in the second half, having to defend on your own try line for extended periods of time. What do you take from that defensive effort?
No, I think that's a big plus for us. We worked a lot on our defense, and we want our defense to be our strong point, and so that teams can't score any tries. So I'm a big congratulations to the boys sticking it out on the try line, conceding only 1 try.
Franco, congratulations to a great start to this campaign. Looking forward to see you going for the next 2 matches.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate everything. Thank you.
Nice one, dude.
Yeah, this is you.
Such a star performance by the captain, but as he said, none of this would have happened without his teammates. It's really been the Franco Horn show. And what a prospect this kid is. Look at this power here. Crashing over. Great awareness. Evan Ruiz, even on the side there, really happy. And then this was special. Buthelezi with a great fend and a great offload to Franco Horn, who's just got real pace. Also this kid had a good game. Caleb Dinkaan. Buthelezi, who was schooled at DHS, giving the offload there to Franco Horn, who was schooled at Boys High, just down the road. So that wraps up the day. A shout out to Twizzler and School Sport Live for making this possible. It's the Junior Springboks who came away with an impressive victory over the Georgia under-20s at 58 points to 10. Catch us on Saturday at the Tigerberg Rugby Club for Argentina under-20s taking on Georgia under-20s, which is followed by the Junior Springboks who are taking on the open age Namibian side. Thank you very much.